What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We're about to break down UFC Fight Night Song versus Gutierrez. And as always, before we jump into it, like and subscribe. Comment what you thought on the card, any bets you cashed, or any parlays you lost. We want to hear them. I'm Paul. Pick a winner, and I'm joined with.
You already know it's your boy Kev Waterboy Support, aka the Don P. aka the realest on your screen. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm over here trying to watch this finish from Steve Garcia in this fucking from this card, and this shit is crazy.
Over
They say he
Costa.
gave they say he gave him elbows. He literally
But
tried to lock in the rear naked choke and then said that's not working. So let's
Garcia was
motherfucker
a pretty big underdog, too, on the money line.
really.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing too crazy, but it was like a 2-1 underdog.
Yeah, and that fucking leg counter that nigga got early in the fucking second round was pretty fucking nice. Yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah, the Hellbows is how he got the finish.
Nah, that shit's fire. But this card as a whole was pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I enjoyed it.
No, no, it's solid. Another like the fight night cards, bro. They're in the apex, smaller ring, tend to get a lot more finishes. Nothing like you can't really not like that.
Hey, did you hear in the main event when I guess somebody was coming at Gutierrez and then Gutierrez was like, you won't never come in here or some shit like that. And I was like, oh, that's how I know y'all in the apex. And you can't
He
hear 19,000.
responded, right? Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
And that shit was funny. But it was a fun card. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I think my favorite fight would probably been damn. The co-main with Khalil Rountree was pretty cool because I felt like Anthony Smith could have still won that fight at points of times. But I really like my dog Tatsuro Tayyar.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up him too, bro. Like flyweight, they got a lot of young talent, but him coming out of Japan, he's been pro since like 16 years old. Just kind of he's on a mission. He's still so young. Though I feel like a lot of the flyweights that are coming up, like Muhammad Makayev, who he called out in the post fight interview, he's only like 25 years old. Tyara is only like 22 years old. Like you got young killers on the rise.
No, and flyweight, I'm learning more and more. I just like that whole division. I like everybody in that division. Alexander Pantoja, Brandon Moreno, Davidson Figueroa, Kai Franz, like every Muhammad Makayev. Every time I learn about a new flyweight, I'm loving Manel Kate. Like every time I learn about a new flyweight, I'm just like, oh fuck, these niggas is lit.
Yeah, and I mean, Figgy's out of the division now. Technically, you never know. He might make his way back.
I'm telling you now, he won't do it.
You know, coming back. He done.
Right. His body would be so mad at him.
We worked so hard to get out of here.
Facts, bro. We was already champion twice. Like you can't fuck this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tyara's my favorite. It might also be a big anime guy here. Kev is too, and just like I always fucked the Japan culture and like to see like a Japanese star on the rise, like UFC. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they had a Japanese champion yet. Pride back in the day probably had plenty, but I don't think UFC's yet to crown himself a Japanese champion. I mean, Song is Chinese champion, but no Japanese yet. And I think Taiyar, especially the flyweights, because it's rare if you get a big Japanese dude. So like flyweight could be the division where they can really like in boxing, they dominate them lower divisions. We could see the surgeons here.
Hell yeah.
And then on from one fight to another, we had the middleweights going at it. Iron Turtle came in as the favorite, but he ends up losing a split decision to Andre Munoz, which is a fight which I wish I would have bet on because I forgot who Andre Munoz was until the fight started. And I remember that he was the killer until he ran into Brandon Allen and got submitted. But Brandon Allen is probably up working his way into a title shot. He's working hard at it right now. He's fucking killing people left and right. But before that, he was on like a 14 fight win streak, and he was an underdog to the Iron Turtle here. And everyone knows the Iron Turtle's not really known for his BJJ, and that was definitely on show for this fight. How did you think for it?
Man, the streets love the Iron Turtle because I always forget who he is until I see him. I'm like, oh, that's blah blah blah. Then I go check the Twitter chat. It's insane. Go insane love for Iron Turtle. I mean, I thought the other dude definitely won. I
Same.
think Iron Turtle, he looked good. I think he just put on an entertaining fight. He showed that he deserves he just showed that he should continue to get fights in the UFC and he'll continue to have a lot of fans and people love him. But yeah, it was a pretty cool fight. I enjoyed it. It was a nice segue into the main. It was a nice starter to get everything cracking for what came after it in the main card.
See, I do wish criteria for judging was more certain because I thought he won, but I can understand the argument where he didn't do much damage. But it's like he had damn near 10 minutes of control time in a 15-minute fight. Yeah, on defeat, Iron Turtle was doing more damage, but it was like the majority of the fight, Iron Turtle was trying to fight his way back to his feet. So I can understand where you're like, he didn't do no damage. He wanted to fight. I understand that, but it's also like he also got dominated for 10 minutes of a fight.
Nah, that
And then
yeah, that's
and then our next one was the bantamweighters. Tim Elliott, OG status, getting a nasty arm triangle over Sumo Dodgery. I mean, Tim Elliott was an underdog. And then come fight night, he was the favorite. A lot of people were back in the old Tim Elliott OG status.
bro. It's so fun, bro. Like, cause I was watching the fights with my best friend, right, and she doesn't know nothing about MMA. So I'm over here just telling stories about random people, so she can kind of get into it a little bit more. So I'm just like, oh yeah, you see, dude over here, yeah, he's gone through it. So I'm telling her the story about Tim Elliott and his fiance and his wife and all that shit like that. She's like, oh my gosh, oh he's so hurt. I wonder, like, yeah. And I was like, actually, hey, last time you should have seen what he did, and I'm like, you should have seen what he did to the last dude when it happened. So like when the shit happened, like, so be careful. Like we don't know what's gonna go down. With this man Tim Elliott's still probably a little hot, and then he comes in and fucking trucks runs bro over like a truck. Like it's insane. Like the way that he came in and outclassed him and really made this bitch look fucking easy. I was like, oh, Tim Elliott is a problem right now.
And it was supposed to be this card was supposed to take place in China, I believe. It was supposed to be like a big Asian card, hence why there was a
Uh,
lot of Asian fighters. But like Tim Elliott, Andre Munoz, even on the prelims, Kevin Jousset beating Song Keenan. There was a lot of there was a lot of non-Asian fighters getting their hand raised at end of fights.
the triads want to let the UFC out alive.
Yeah, yeah, facts. But yeah, the Tim Elliott, I mean, I'm always a fan. Since that story, tragic story, don't wish that upon anybody. But just know, post that story, bro. Like you got yourself a full fledged. You have a whole bunch of the guys that are behind you 100% now.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Team Tim Elliott over here.
Then our next fight on the slate was an absolute ass whooping. I mean, I should have known it. Nasrat Hoxparast gets a KO over Jamie Malarkey in the minute 44 of the first round. Knocked him down twice before getting the finish, but whew, he's a problem. And Jamie Malarkey needs to get cut. I mean, those are two things I think is certain from this fight. Is like Nasrat is cold with it. Jamie Malarkey, you need to get out of town.
Hey man, shout out my dog Nazrat from Morocco.
That's kind of hard.
anytime, anytime Morocco fighters come on, and I always put this hat on. And so far, I've been a good luck for them boys because I be watching Morocco fighters whoop ass. I was sitting there watching this. I was like, oh, he's from Morocco. Man, he's a fucking killer. I didn't know they were that dangerous for real. So yeah, he kind of he just plowed straight through Brody. Like he just showed that like, yo, I'm nice like that for real and fucked him up.
He's a long fighter in UFC at this point. Now I think he's had more than 10 fights in UFC, but he beats a lot of guys. His only losses are to like Drew Dover, Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, and just like I don't think he's ever gonna be fighting for a title, but he's definitely gonna have that like top 15 status and always be in that ranking. Because like those fights, I feel like he could go back now and right some of the wrongs.
Yeah, that'd be fine. But yeah, he showed me. I was he wasn't on my radar before, but I fuck with Brody now.
Another unranked lightweight that's just like lightweight is deep. Like outside of the top 15, they have a lot of guys that are like want to crack into top 15.
Facts, and they're willing to fight for it. It's blood. It's a war over there, lightweight right now.
And in the light heavyweight status, Khalil Rountree makes it 5 wins in a row with the KO over Anthony Smith, which was a competitive fight up until the knockout. But everyone will remember one of the greatest clips in the UFC right now. Khalil Rountree knocking him down. First he fall. First it was like one of those delayed falls, which is always great for like edits. And the delayed fall, and then you get Khalil Rountree, Thor hammer in the sky, looks at the fucking ref like, hey, bro, like, just let me know. And then all of a sudden, fight over. Khalil Roundtree's hand gets. I mean, I don't think his hand ever went down. He probably kept that bitch up until they raised it.
Right, that shit is still up right now.
Still
Like
up.
this man, Khalil Rountree literally looked at the ref and said, like, "Yo, bro, do you want to see a dead body?" And he gave him the ultimatum because he already had Brett hitting the stinky like the power that Killer Roundtree has is insane. Even on the punches that he missed, you look like, yo, bro, if that shit lands, I think Smith is going immediately to the hospital. And then they kept bringing up that like Anthony Smith is supposed to be in the booth. He's supposed to be in the booth for the UFC 296 with the commentaries and shit like that. So, but they don't think he would have made it if he had took some of these hits that missed against Khalil Rountree. Like John Anik and Ray Long were making jokes about it, but like that shit was real. The power that Khalil Rountree has is otherworldly. I think he can get his skills a little bit sharper because Anthony Smith is not no slouch for sure, but he can get his skills up like as an MMA fighter as a whole for sure. But if he continues to just that power is there.
He reminds me of like the Black American version of Johnny Walker.
Yeah,
He's a lot shorter in stature. Like he's like a lot more built, but like the amount of dynamite he can create with just like the simplest punch. Because the punch that ended Anthony Smith, it wasn't an overhand right on the jaw that like sends him to oblivion. It was a straight shot that didn't look like it did much. And then you see and then you see him, he's out of there. And but I think most chiseled man in UFC, Khalil Rountree. He is the epitome of like he looks like someone you don't want to fight.
and he's such a nice person. Bro, that's what kills me about MMA fighters. They be looking like scary killers, and then you hear them talking, you're just like, oh, this guy's nice.
Super nice guy. Well, stand up guy.
Yeah. They don't get me wrong, they could probably kill you with their bare hands, but just so cordial.
And in our main event, it was a one-sided affair. I thought it would be a finish. It wasn't though. But Song Yadong gets the unanimous decision over Chris Gutierrez, 50-45, 50-45, 50-44. I don't think you can argue any other way. Song Yadong won every single round. He's the most explosive striker I think there is at the bantamweight division. And I would love to see the Corey Sandhagen fight rematch. I would love to see him in there with Rob. I would love to see him in there with Aljo, Cheeto, any of those guys. I need a Song versus another top five guy in my life immediately.
Yeah, I mean that's where it's looking like at this point because he's just gonna continue to stack wins until he challenges for the championship.
And like him versus Sugar Sean, the stand up that they would create, magical.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But he just keep on winning because that is a pretty deep division. So bro just keeps on winning. You just can't deny it. It's gonna get to the point where you just can't deny it. And he's a fan favorite.
And he's only 26.
Mm,
He's
nice.
the Asian Max Holloway right now. Like he could really come into his own and be like a 6 year prime.
Oh yeah. And the way he came in and won this fight, like I scored a 50-44. Like he came in and won every round. Looked good, phenomenal.
Yeah, and outside of the people I name, I really don't care about another fight. Like, give me top five or nothing. Shit, give me him
Yeah,
versus Biggie. That'd be kind of fun.
yeah.
But anything else you got on these fights, Kev? Or any in this fight in particular, or the slate?
Nah, I think I figured out my shit. I pull up to the prelims or like I figured out my schedule. I sit down an hour before the card, before the prelims. I get comfortable, get toasted, eat something, take a nap, wake up in the middle of the prelims, and
Ooh,
now
that's the cheat code.
I'm over here trying to get the fuck up. And by the time I get the fuck up, I'm at the last two prelim fights. And then now I'm up the fuck up. Got my music playing, the vitamins and the herbs and burning during the main card. I think that's what my new finesse is. But we'll see how it works.
But all right, shit. If y'all having trouble yourself, try a little play out of Kev's playbook.
You know what I'm saying? I gave that one away for free. I'm charging you for the next one.
But thank y'all for listening. Go down, like, and subscribe. Let us hear what y'all thought of UFC Song versus Gutierrez. It was a Saturday Apex card to say the least.
Vegas 83.
Vegas 83, and we still got 296 to wrap up the year. For all y'all MMA fans, stay tuned for that. I'm Paul Pickle Winham Concha, and I'm joined with Kevin Waterboy Savoy. And if y'all didn't know, now you know, motherfuckers.